doesn't sound like I'm picking on her, because I'm grateful to have her in my life. It's nice to have a partner, someone looking out for you, you look out for them. Like I did 2 weeks of shows out of town in December, and when I came home, my wife informed me that she made me an appointment for the gastroenterologist. If you're unfamiliar, that's the doctor that sticks the camera up your butt. I mean, they do other things, but that's what they're famous for. That's probably how they attract people to the field. You like photography? And I got a job you're gonna love. I didn't ask my wife to set up this appointment. I wasn't sick, I didn't have any symptoms. She just did it because she was looking out for me. So she casually brought it up. She goes, just so you know, I made you an appointment for the gastroenterologist. And I said, just so you know, I won't be going. She was like, why wouldn't you go? It's just a consultation. I said, well, it's the principle. I'm an adult. I make my own decisions. Thank you. Anyway, so I'm at the gastroenterologist. The doctor starts to describe the procedure, and I said, look, I should probably let you know, I don't really enjoy getting my picture taken. I would be open to an ultrasound. I think a lot of men are curious what the jelly on the belly feels like. Anyway, the doctor, he didn't think it was funny. And I knew it was precautionary, so I agreed. So he went over to his computer and he goes, all right, my next available appointment is in 3 months. And I was like, 3 months? This was in December. I didn't know if I wanted this procedure hanging over my head during the holidays. Jim, you want another piece of pie? No, I'm getting a camera up my butt. I don't want some team of doctors to be like, wow, this guy loves pie. Mary, get out here. He's got a half a pie up there. I didn't know what could delay this important procedure. But part of me didn't want to find out. I didn't want the doctor to be like, well, the real delay is finding someone to clean the camera. That takes turnover in that position's insane. You know, people do it once and they're like, you know what, I'm going back on food stamps. Then I was thinking, maybe it's the doctor. Maybe he's like, dude, I can only do this procedure once a month. Then I gotta take a week off, sit on the beach, and ask myself why I keep sticking cameras up people's butts. I could have been a dentist. Again with the dental reference. But in February, I had the procedure, and I think every man in here should get a colonoscopy, because I had to. It's not an easy decision, because the best news you can find out from getting a camera stuck up your butt is learning you didn't need to have a camera stuck up your butt. That's the best news. Yeah, we didn't need to do that. We can just chalk that up, one for fun. And the day before the procedure, you can't eat anything, and I'm a total pig, so I was terrified. But after I was awake for 5 hours and I hadn't eaten anything, I wasn't hungry. I was suicidal. I was so bored. I was like, what am I supposed to sit here and feel feelings? And then at noon and at 6 p.m., you have to drink this serum that I believe is made by a collaboration of X-Lax and Taco Bell. Printed on the side of the serum, it should have just said, drink this in the bathroom. Might want to grab a pillow and a book. Because I tell you, I've had diarrhea before. This is the point where everyone acts like they've never had diarrhea. I don't even know what Jim's talking about to you. Yeah, I'm the only one who's had diarrhea in a hotel hot tub. Okay. Like we're at the same hotel. No, I've had diarrhea. I don't want to brag. No, I've had diarrhea, but calling what this serum did to my body diarrhea is an insult to the word diarrhea. My body made noises I didn't know existed. At one point, I thought I stepped on a puppy. I was in the bathroom for hours, checking email, ignoring phone calls. Because serum or not, you can't answer the phone in the bathroom. Because you can't hide the fact you're in the bathroom because there's an echo. Are you in a well? Yes, I'm down here in a well. Just no kids in this well, making sure no kids fell in. But I kept getting this call from the doctor's office, and I thought there might be important information, like someone saying, do not drink the serum. So I answered it, and it was just someone confirming the appointment. And I don't know how someone's supposed to sound when they confirm a colonoscopy, but this person was really casual. They're like, hey, how are you? So we're gonna see you tomorrow? What, are we having brunch? I thought I was getting a camera up my butt. She gave me the address. The next morning I went there. It wasn't at a hospital or a clinic. It was at some building. Just picture where you imagine the black market would harvest human organs. What am I doing here? And I took an elevator to the basement. There was this huge space with all these makeshift rooms with shower curtains. And I was led into one. There was all this talking. You know when you're nervous and you think you hear things? I thought I heard someone go, I can't believe he's here. I want his kidney. And I was terrified. And then eventually an anesthesiologist walked in. He gave me a shot and he goes, I just want to go through what's going to happen. Right now I'm giving you some medicine which will knock you out. And when you wake up, you won't remember anything. You okay with that? And against every instinct of my body, I just went, okay. And the last memory I had is just watching the anesthesiologist leave the room as I heard someone go, I want his spleen. And I woke up and I was fine. I mean, I'm pregnant, but I'm fine. I'm not pregnant. My wife, I haven't talked to her in an hour. You know, but we got 5 kids, and that seems like a lot. And frankly, it's too many. It is a lot, but what am I gonna do now? It's not like they come with free return shipping. I love having 5 kids. I travel with them because I don't want to be away from them. And also I enjoy the look on waitstaff's faces when I walk in with my family. Because my kids are 5, 6, 8, 11, and 13. And we walked into a restaurant in Dallas and I saw a waitress look at me and my family and quit her job. I mean, she could have been getting off her shift. I just saw her look at us and throw down her apron and storm off. And I felt like we won. But I like being a dad, you know. I try and do one-on-one time with each of my kids, but it's hard because I travel and there's a lot of them. So sometimes that special daddy and me time is just doing something mundane, like going with me to the post office. It's like, that's right, buddy, just you and me. Going to find out why we got this damn slip on our door. Stick that in the memory bank. My dad, always making time for me. Squeezing me into errands. I remember walking to the post office and listening to him bitch and moan about the federal government. What a guy. Try to be a good dad. I got my kids a dog. I rescued a dog. Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's not like the dog was drowning. The dog wasn't a victim of sex trafficking. I just went in a building, gave a guy money, and got a dog. That's how I rescued it. After that, I rescued a pizza. I had to wait to rescue the dog because the dog was in Jamaica. I don't know if it was on vacation. But I rescued a dog from paradise so it could live in my crowded New York City apartment. Sometimes I put the leash on the dog and it looks at me like, I used to run on the beach. And now I sleep in a cage. My only hope is that one day you'll get rescued. But rescue is the language of today, right? And we mean adoption. Now, people don't even say they own dogs. Now people say they're a dog parent. But I feel like dogs are different from kids. Like, you never hear a parent say, you know, my son had some behavior problems, so we gave him to a friend who had a farm upstate. Then we can run around and we'll visit him on weekends. Jim, you're a monster.
Starbucks, of course, is a coffee shop, but much more than that, right? Starbucks is a whole experience. And that whole Starbucks experience makes me want to strangle people. I'm convinced humans, we can't handle Starbucks. There's too many options, way too many options. In fast food places, there's an efficiency. I'll have a number 3. In Starbucks, people sound like brats. They're like, okay, let's see, what does baby feel like sipping on? I'll have a venti half-calf caramel macchiato with no sugar, no dairy, and no coffee. most amazing thing happens. Instead of the Starbucks cashier slapping this person, they just give a nod of as you wish. It appears like people in Starbucks are trying to stump the barista. They're like, all right, let me have a chai tea with a shot of pumpkin spice, half goat milk and half breast milk. As you wish. Your order in Starbucks is not complete until you provide a name. And they don't really ask for it, they kind of demand it. They're like, I need a name for the order. Can I just have my coffee? I must have a name. Satan. Excuse me? Tall black coffee, Satan. As you wish. The suffering doesn't end there, though. After you order, then you have to wait in that pickup area. That's like the methadone clinic of Starbucks. All the caffeine addicts are milling around. You're forced to listen to Mannheim Steamroller. You just judge other people's orders. I have a hot chocolate for Dan. What a dork. Grow up, Dan. And if Dan's not right there, you're like, we should kill Dan. You just wait. You wait as the people that ordered on the Starbucks app breeze in like they're accepting an award. See you losers later. You just end up watching that barista slave away. You've never seen someone work that hard in your life, but you wish they'd pick up the pace a little. Come on! You want your coffee, but more than anything, you need to get away from these people. Occasionally, there's that person that brings their own cup to Starbucks. I have my own cup. I have my own cup. Yeah, so do we. They're at home. Let me understand this. You have your life together enough to bring your own cup, but you can't make your own damn coffee? No. You have to go. That's why I think there needs to be a button in Starbucks, a simple button that when it's pressed, two men dressed all in white would just appear and deal with the annoying person. Hey, so you brought your own cup. Why don't you come with us? The person would be like, I bought the cup here. That's cute. We want to show you something. And they'd escort that person into a back room, and then you just hear faint screams. Ow! You stand there. You just stand. All the chairs are taken. Because Starbucks is not only a coffee shop, it's also an upscale unemployment office. Filled with students, people on conference calls. There's always that one guy that set up his office in Starbucks. Can you move your fax machine? It's packed. It's like the opposite of Dunkin' Donuts. You walk in Dunkin' Donuts, you feel like you're entering an active crime scene. The shelves are bare, there's no employees around. Are you guys even open? Did I just break in? I don't want to touch anything and leave my DNA. So instead, I subject myself to the Starbucks experience. And after what feels like an eternity, they finally announce my order. I have a tall black coffee for Satin. It's Satan. Thank you.
I do love her. She can be demanding, like unrealistic demands, like she wants me to lose weight. I have no expectation of losing weight. Some of it is, I used to have all these jokes on donuts, and now sometimes when I do shows out of town, people will give me boxes of donuts, which makes me think, I gotta start doing jokes about private jets. But I'll do a show and someone will give me a box of donuts, or I'll get to my hotel room and in my hotel room there'll be a box of donuts. And I always look at the donuts like, I'm not gonna eat those. I mean, those were a gift. What would Jesus do? He'd eat the donuts.
But it's always a box, a dozen donuts. I'm by myself. I'm typically in a city for one night. What kind of monster pig do I come across as? How many donuts should we get, Gaffigan? Enough for a Baptist church. Whatever would feed an entire Little League team, that'll cover that tub of turds for a couple hours. I don't know what to do with all the donuts. I'll eat 2. All right, I'll eat 4. But I don't know what to do with the rest of them, What do I put them in my rolly luggage? I did that once. I'm not proud of it. We've all done things we're not proud of. You're like, this is kind of pathetic, but here goes. Zip, zip, zip. Off to the airport we go. Of course, that was the time I got the random search at the airport. I made it through the metal detector. This nice TSA guy was like, sorry, sir, random search of your bag. And I was like, what I wanted to say is, I have drugs in my butt. Because a cavity search at that moment seemed less humiliating than revealing the true contents of my luggage. But I had to do it, so the TSA guy unzipped the bag. And it was one of those flat boxes of donuts, like Krispy Kreme, so it took up the entire rolly bag. It looked like I was smuggling donuts. And the TSA guy just looked at me like, wow. They sell those here. There's a Dunkin' Donuts 2 gates away. There was such compassion in his eyes. You got a problem. And I couldn't say anything. I couldn't be like, those are mine. Yeah, some guy gave them to me. Some guy named Al-Qaeda, he gave them to me. I'd act all casual. I'd be like, yeah, this is my donuts. I travel with donuts. I'm trying to get diabetes. Why don't you leave me alone? And since it was a random search, the actual box of donuts had to be open. And because I was wheeling through the airport, all the donuts were crammed and smushed to one end. It looked like I had rummaged through a dumpster outside of a donut shop. Oh, this one's still good. Just get these rocks and sticks out of here. That's a perfectly good powdered sugar. No, that's Ajax on that one. The TSA guy just looked at me like, you can go. It's probably your last flight anyway. I don't know if you know, I'm normally a fat guy. But since I've lost all this weight, now I'm just arrogant. And by the way, thin people, that's how we view you. As arrogant bastards. I have lost weight. Since I've lost weight, I find I get 2 types of reactions. One group, these people, they won't even say anything to me. They'll just go up to my wife and ask, is Jim okay? Which sounds like concern, but I just hear judgment. Because to them, it's more likely that I'm sick than I would ever have any self-discipline. Well, obviously Jim's not exercising and eating healthy. He must have cancer. That's one group. The other group, these people will come up to me and accuse me of being on an appetite suppressant. They're like, you're on Ozempic, admit it, you're on Ozempic. And I'm not, all right? I'm on a different one. I'm on Mangiaro, which is better, right? Because it sounds like an Italian restaurant. Welcome to Mangiaro. When you're here, you're not eating anything because you're a fat ass. Yeah. Now, I understand some people are against the appetite suppressants. That's cheating, it's cheating. I'm not playing Major League Baseball. I'm just a fat guy trying to not die. But it's not fair. Yeah, neither is balding and being born with no pigmentation. But I've learned to deal with it. This is an exciting time for me. I'm thin, I'm in my 30s. It is crazy. Most of my adult life, I heard this constant internal monologue. Jim, you gotta stop eating. Jim, you gotta control your impulses. And now I know all I needed was a weekly shot that killed all the passion inside of me. I've learned so much. I now understand thin people, you don't forget to eat, you're dead inside. Life is about compromise. Sure, I may never feel true joy again. but I can finally fit in my clothes that went out of style 30 years ago. So it's not a bad deal. It's crazy. These appetite suppressants are a game changer. Here's what's going to happen. All us fat people are going to become thin. Then we're going to mix in with you thin bastards. And when you're not looking, we're going to eat you. Doesn't matter if we're hungry. We just like to eat. Nom, 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 nom.